Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Wednesday topical video with none other than your co-hosts, the British Fist.
Ka-ching!
Ka-ching indeed. I am Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me is none other than NJ.
What's up?
Duke THS, remix that, you bastard. Subscribe above, like this video, and comment your thoughts on what we're going to be talking about in this topical video down in the comment section below.
Make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
Yeah, so we've got some interesting topics to talk about today, haven't we, NJ?
Oh, yes we are.
We have two questions which we do want to put out there to you guys, and two questions that have been very popular amongst the YWC. Now, we're going to try and be objective about this and create a very reasonable argument with these two questions. The first question we're going to look at is, should Cena have won at Extreme Rules? Now, if you guys have any thoughts on this before we go into this video, comment section, please. Do you think Cena should have won at Extreme Rules? We're also going to address, should Cena have taken some kind of break? So, again, leave your thoughts on that question down in the comment section below. I mean, we might as well start off with the whole thing at Extreme Rules. We saw a pretty massive spectacle of a main event match, didn't we, between Brock Lesnar and Cena, and there's a lot of people out there saying that John Cena shouldn't have won, the Cena haters such as yourself who are out there in unison. Now, you just start off this argument as to why you feel Cena shouldn't have won, and I'm just going to chime in with a couple of counterpoints that I feel may be relevant here.
Well, you're thinking the best place to start would be Extreme Rules. My best place would be when Brock Lesnar returned, the Raw after WrestleMania. There where he was, return, monster, taking out Cena. Every week you would see Brock Lesnar taking out Cena one way or another. And now he comes to a pay-per-view match. His first match back, Extreme Rules. A chance for him to maybe not show off his wrestling skills in a way in just a normal singles match. It was an Extreme Rules match. So this is a perfect chance for Brock Lesnar to dominate Cena, prove that he's back. And that's exactly what he did during the match. But then obviously it led to the point where you were thinking, right, Brock Lesnar's got this in the bag. Cena's got to lose this. There's no way Cena can fight back. But look what happened at the end of the match. And I really think that this should be Lesnar's time to prove that he's back and to prove that he's a dominant heel.
I'll say this, going into Extreme Rules, I didn't think Cena going over was the correct decision in my opinion, but I kind of see a trade-off here, guys. You know, you had Lesnar coming back. You really wanted to showcase Lesnar as this legit beast who could destroy pretty much anyone. And he came in at Extreme Rules, put on a great main event by destroying John Cena in ways we've never actually seen before, incorporating MMA stuff. Now, I'll say this now. The objective going in was to make Lesnar look like a beast. Despite losing that match, he still did look like a beast. Now, I do also think that WWE do need to set some kind of standard at the moment. And although people may hate me a lot for saying for saying what I'm about to say, John Cena is a top guy in WWE. You do need to kind of set a standard as well, especially if he's going to go up against guys like Triple H and Orton. And John Cena is, whether we like it or not, the top guy for WWE. So if you have Brock Lesnar come in straight away and beat your top guy in the WWE, what does that say for the rest of the people he's going to feud with? It says that he doesn't have a chance, despite the fact I do agree that Lesnar should have gone over in this match because it was his return and it was his first match.
But if we look at the match, the fact that throughout the whole match, Brock Lesnar was dominating, laying him out. This is the thing. After all that work Brock Lesnar put into the match, John Cena at the very end managed to get up, stand up on his two legs, take out Brock Lesnar. It's like all that work he put throughout the match was just wasted because John Cena managed to stand up going, that didn't really hurt, take this, you actually just finished the match. I'm just like, you've gone through however long the match was, of being brutalised, but you still managed to stand up, beat Brock Lesnar, and then make an announcement at the end. Just lay down, stay down.
And I think a lot of the Cena haters out there will probably be giving that excuse as well. I do understand this with the Cena haters. You know, a guy like John Cena gets beat down the whole time. But look, guys, this is how babyfaces are supposed to be booked. You saw, you know, the reaction that John Cena got after that match. People actually wanted him to win that match because he was booked in a way which people thought to themselves, he ain't got no chance in hell. So the fact that he went over here was kind of a surprise, really, because the fans really weren't expecting it. When they got it, they were like, wow, you know, my God, this is ridiculous. And the booking in this match really did a good job in getting John Cena over as what he should be, a top face. And I really agreed with the booking of this match, the way they did it in the sense that it was a spectacle, and the way that Brock Lesnar was booked was perfect in my opinion. Now, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with Cena going over 100%. I'm just trying to provide some counterpoints which people don't necessarily jump to when they're going on bashing Cena, such as you do, NJ.
Well, if I was to give John Cena credit, it's just that if it came to a point where at the end of the match, after being brutalised, John Cena tried to fight back, not beat Lesnar in 2 minutes or even less than that, how much it was. If he did get brutalised throughout the match, and then tried to fight back near the end, having some offence in before he actually got the win, then maybe I wouldn't be this against it. But the fact it took Cena 2 minutes or even less, or whatever it was, to just jump up and beat Lesnar, I just thought, stupid ending, stupid ending.
But Cena had to do. Brock Lesnar did a lot of shit to him. I'll admit that. And if you're looking at it in reality, then John Cena should never have won this match in a million years. In a fight, they made this seem like a legit fight, and in a legit fight, Brock Lesnar would wipe the floor with John Cena. So I can understand why people would hate this, and I completely understand as well. I'm just trying to provide some objectiveness in this argument as well. The whole Super Cena thing, yes, it's very relevant here, but you've got to understand this, guys. Guys like Hogan, Warrior, you know, babyfaces, top babyfaces have always been booked like this. And as much as I don't like the fact that Brock Lesnar lost this match, I feel he should have won this to really establish himself as this legit guy. The match itself was booked in a sense that he was booked as this legit guy, and people aren't going to sit there and say he didn't look legit in that match, because he did. And despite the fact Cena won, people are still talking about the fact that John Cena got his ass kicked, he got his ass handed to him. So the main topic coming out of that, people will go on about John Cena winning, etc. But the main thing coming out of this for me is that Lesnar really looked like a beast and really gave us a main event we haven't really seen in a long time.
Well, the outcome of this match, because we go, like you say, go through how John Cena should have lost, or how great it was that John Cena managed to somehow win. The thing is, it was the outcome that led to the future of what's going to come from this, where John Cena had to get his ass beat, he managed to still beat Lesnar, and then make a promo saying that he could be, if he had to, after being checked over, taking a break. And the way I would have done this is I would have had Lesnar or beat Cena down so badly that 1, he had to lose the match, and 2, he had to take a break. Not so John Cena could win and then have the ability to stand up and make the announcement that he could possibly be taking a break.
To be honest with you, I think if John Cena had used this time, or WWE had used this time to give John Cena a break, then I wouldn't be as annoyed with what happened on Raw as I would have been. Because if they did this whole thing where Cena won, but Lesnar injured him to the point where he had to go away and take a break, then you could have just sat there and said, oh, well, Lesnar lost the battle, but he won the war because he ended up going. But the fact of the matter is, John Cena, after teasing a break, did not take the break. And that kind of glosses over what I thought could have been booked very well in terms of a storyline angle as well. I also think an interesting point here, guys, is you've just had John Cena come off a massive loss at WrestleMania. On the TV shows, let's face it, John Cena has been booked like shit. He's been booked to get his ass kicked pretty much the whole time by Brock Lesnar. And that's generally, you look at the way they book Punk and Jericho as well, and that's generally how you will build the heels up going into a pay-per-view. So generally, the babyface can go over on a pay-per-view, so people will pay to see it. That's just the way booking goes, in my opinion. But 2, you don't think for 1 second that Vince McMahon wanted his top guy to lose 2 big pay-per-view matches in a row. Not just that, but do you think this could have been Vince McMahon giving a big fuck you to UFC, saying my top guy can beat your top guy because I pay him loads and loads of money?
Well, that could be the case, but at the same time, if the UFC fans have some interest in the WWE now, especially after seeing Brock Lesnar back in there, after seeing Brock Lesnar destroy Cena, they're probably thinking, that is just ridiculous. He can do what he wants to us, but at the same time, what happened to Cena, no man could possibly survive that. Yeah,
it's very true, and it's the same thing that happened with Rock and Cena. You had all this interest, caused by The Rock, and you really wanted Rock to go over because, you knew that people wanted him to win, and that would have been the one way you could have drew new eyeballs. And you could say the same about Brock Lesnar. A lot of people would have wanted Brock Lesnar to win this match, especially if WWE have done a great job of maybe even bringing in some UFC fans, bringing some legitimacy to their product. Then you'd think they'd want to have Brock Lesnar go over to kind of allow them to come into the product and be pretty pleased with what they're seeing. And at the end of the day, now that Cena won. I will say this though. Cena hasn't been booked very well, and he's been booked like a proper babyface lately against big stars. And I do think a win against a big star was something he did need, especially even though he's had wins against Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and all the big stars and stuff. I do think a win over Brock Lesnar, especially after what happened in 2003, was something that John Cena, the top guy in WWE right now, did sort of need, despite the fact I really don't think they should have done it.
Well, as much as Cena could have done with this win, if they did go through that whole injury angle, I think the fact that he lost at WrestleMania, lost at Extreme Rules, got beaten at Extreme Rules, that would have been a great way of making a good storyline build-up to when he returned. But the fact they had him manage to get hurt and win the match, and get a match announced for the next pay-per-view in 3 weeks, it's led us to believe the next part of this video, which is, should he really be taking a break after all the things he's gone through up to this point?
Yeah, and you've seen John Cena's been pretty much brutalised on the TV show. And the question here, as NJ just said, is should Cena have taken a break at this point? I think WWE need to give Cena a break. I know Cena's the top guy, and Vince McMahon wants him on the TV show as much as he can. But you got to give someone like Cena, who works so many dates and is so passionate about the company and works through so many injuries and stuff. You got to give him time off sometimes to heal, and so we can have a bit of a break from him as well. Because a lot of fans are just disliking Cena to a point where they just want a break. And when he comes back, then they can appreciate him a little bit more because we've seen him away for a couple of months.
That's the point, because the whole thing about this is they've missed 2 opportunities to give Cena a break. Nexus firing storyline, that could have been a chance to go up for a while, and now this one. I'm really thinking WWE have this big worry that if they lose Cena, things are going to change in the WWE for that time he's gone. But I'm thinking, yes, it could because he's a top wrestler, but at the same time, people are getting more interested in other wrestlers now because of how much they hate Cena and how much they might like someone else. So it would be a perfect chance, if Cena was to have a break, which is not happening, to give other wrestlers, younger talent or rising talent, the chance to be higher than where they're at.
It would be a good chance if Cena took that break to give someone else the kind of like main event spot, or just give someone else the spot that Cena would generally have. It would be a good thing. It would be a great decision in my opinion for WWE, because WWE, have given us a lot of John Cena. We've taken a lot of John Cena. A lot of us, like yourself, are fed up of John Cena. And even the top guys in the Attitude Era, like Austin, took a break, even if it was because of injury. And WWE at the time had guys to bring in and replace guys like Austin, like, for example, Triple H. They brought in Triple H very strongly while Steve Austin was injured. Do they really have the talent to really bring through when John Cena isn't there? I think that is my main question here. Do they have the star power and the talent to bring in to replace a John Cena, or will they always be relying on John Cena? Will he always have to be there and never ever take a break?
Well, the thing about John Cena is that there's 2 points about this. Number one, the next big pay-per-view sometimes not that far away, so he could have taken that period of break. So it's not too long, but during that time he was away, you have other guys that fans are like CM Punk, still all in some way. You have Wade Barrett possibly returning. You have all these other wrestlers that are big names that I think people could get behind, see in the main event. Not completely wipe out Cena, but still keep people interested and liking the main events of these wrestling shows.
Yeah, at the moment, I think in WWE, you must admit, WWE do lack top baby faces. And although taking Cena out would mean that one of those big baby faces is gone, you do need to start creating some new baby faces and maybe putting them into these spots so they can get over maybe a bit quicker. And, Vince McMahon, in my opinion, really does need to do that, which is why we're getting pushes of people like Brodus Clay and Ryback, because WWE do need more top baby faces in their company, because there's a lot of heels out there that are just doing fuck all, despite the fact they're talented, because they don't have any baby faces to feud against. Just address Cena's speech that he did at Extreme Rules. Apparently, from what we're hearing, he wasn't really supposed to say that speech, and the whole point was that Cena was supposed to be getting to a point where he was so decapitated. This is what we're reading from reports. He was supposed to be so decapitated that he was supposed to be stretchered out, and apparently Brock Lesnar had a bit of a backstage fit because of that, didn't he?
That's the thing, because with him, I'm perfectly behind Brock Lesnar doing that. Yes, he's a grown man and maybe shouldn't be going over the top about that, but at the same time, Cena's been there year after year, not taking breaks compared to other wrestlers are, and the fact that it was Lesnar's return match, he knew what he put Cena through because of all the blood and the attention that Cena got during the match. And the fact that I could see Brock Lesnar's frustration at the end, it finished in a way that was all wrapped around Cena getting his moment at the end. So I totally understand why Brock Lesnar did what he did.
And to be honest with you, do you think John Cena maybe played a bit of a politics card there? You're only here for a year, I'm the long-term guy. Do you think maybe that could have been the case, and that whole thing Cena's kind of there going, fuck this man, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna, make sure this guy doesn't get all the spotlight because he's a bit of a dick. And we have heard that Brock Lesnar doesn't have the biggest respect for the business. And although there's apparently no heat between Lesnar and Cena, it is a factor, isn't it, in this whole thing?
That's the thing, that's the point I was going to bring a bit late, but this is the perfect chance. There are wrestlers backstage who I'm sure are really annoyed by Cena, because he's always getting the spotlight. That's where you had that CM Punk angle, Rock not liking him, Brock coming in. So you have all these big names that probably Orton's annoyed in many ways. So you have people who are annoyed by Cena getting the spotlight. And I think, especially this is an example of Brock Lesnar showing frustration that it had to be all about Cena, and Cena trying to keep the spotlight on him instead of sharing it to someone else. He says, I'm a company man, but in my opinion, Cena likes the attention to be all about him.
I think in wrestling, there's always been a politics thing in the sense that you try and keep your place at the top. I don't think John Cena feels threatened by Brock Lesnar. I think Cena knows Brock Lesnar is a bigger star, but people like John Cena, although I do respect the guy for what he does and everything, you gotta admit, even guys like John Cena, as nice as they are, do try and protect their spots, which is this is an example of here. So I don't know. I think John Cena I think WWE really missed a big opportunity here to get Brock Lesnar over very strong. You know, for the next year, pass him on to some more talents, maybe having feud with Sheamus, Orton. We're seeing him feud with Triple H now. But at the same time, I do think WWE need to set some kind of standard so that, you know, so it's actually believable that someone can beat him, and so he's not this massive force which just cannot ever be beaten sometimes.
That's sad, because we do think of this. WrestleMania has lost The Rock. There was a part of the fans that I've been hearing that were thinking maybe Rock's broke Cena, and he's thinking, right, Cena's just been beat by The Rock. There's a big chance for Cena to look at himself and think what to do next. But then this pay-per-view here, the pay-per-view following WrestleMania, has proven that things have not really changed, and we're sticking to what the fans don't like about Cena.
And also, let's not remember that Brock Lesnar's getting paid a lot of money. Do you think he may be getting paid a lot of money because he's going to be putting over talent? Or do you think he's getting paid a lot of money just because, you know, because he's such a big name? Because I kind of think they're paying him a lot of money because they want him to put over talent, which he wouldn't have done if he was paid, like, say, $3 million. They've given him $5 million because they've said, right, we want you to put over young talent. But Lesnar's saying, nah, you're going to have to pay me more to do that because I ain't losing to these guys.
That could be a way of looking at it, but at the same time, maybe Lesnar weren't really interested in coming back to the WWE, and this is just him thinking, right, if you really want me to come back, I want you to prove it, and I want you to pay me, here's what I'm wanting, pay me it. But at the same time, it could be, we've really got to try and get the young talent over, but I'm thinking it's more, Lesnar was mainly happy being out the WWE, doing what he does best, which is be an ass kicker, like he said, and that's why he just needed more money to persuade him to come back and do what he's doing now.
And you give a large amount of money to receive a large amount of money because, let's face it, a match involving Brock Lesnar and, say, Triple H or Orton or Cena or a Sheamus is potentially a big money match. So you get your money back on those kind of investments, which is why this is a very smart investment by Vince McMahon, even though he is being paid quite a lot of money. But there we go. That's a pretty interesting discussion. I think we went into more about it than I thought we would. But you got anything to add here or any final thoughts?
Other than fuck Cena, I look at Lesnar and think, yes, he's gone through this bit of a firing thing as we've seen on Raw, but I'm damn sure he's going to come back and obviously go against Triple H, as we said. Then after Triple H, who knows what the full idea on. So obviously he's going to be here to WrestleMania. But the thing about this now is we just need to know your thoughts, because obviously there's so much going on since Brock Lesnar's return, and we just need to know what the next step is and what your thoughts are.
Exactly. If you want my quick thoughts, though, before we end the video, Lesnar should definitely have gone over at Extreme Rules. I do understand why maybe there was a hint of Cena being able to win that. I do understand that maybe WWE's philosophy on this. I don't like it, but I do understand maybe why they did it the way they did. And if they did the whole injury thing, I would have been a bit more content with that match. Cena, maybe this would have been a perfect time to give Cena a break of some kind, but maybe WWE are kind of punishing a little bit for that shoot thing he did at the end of the pay-per-view. Who really knows? But you know, like NJ said, just give us your thoughts down below. This is a very complex argument which we can only go so much into. So if you guys have anything to add, or if you guys want to say anything, make sure you give us your thoughts down in that comment section. We'll get a discussion going. If you guys want to send video responses to us as well, make sure you do it, because we will accept all video responses, and we do like you to send video responses when you can. So,
and it's your video responses that gives me the perfect example to buy popcorn and Monster, so I can enjoy watching your videos.
Popcorn and Monster, right?
Oh, yes,
indeed. So there we go. Like I said, thanks for watching this one, guys, and you know what, NJ? Take it away, the outro, brother.
All I'm going to say is that even though Brock Lesnar lost, all I can say is, Cena, here comes the pain. And people, hopefully you can feel Cena's pain, because I'm sure there's more to come. And Bob, Mr. Parkin, and me, NJ, keep your comments coming. And until next time, goodbye.